Gilberto, tell me something about your life, about yourself and where you came from.
Well, I came to this country in 89, 1989. I moved here from Mexico City. Um, I didn't know I was gonna come here. My dad just he used to come here and work here, so he asked me one day if I want to come here, and I said yeah, but I didn't know that I was going to come here to this area, and here I am after 26 years.
How did you become interested in cooking and gardening?
Um, I don't know. I think it's just a natural thing. It's something that you learn or you live in, and then you um, experience that you like to do those things. And gardening, I when I start my work here, I start on the garden, so I learn a little bit there about the garden, and then I learn a little more to grow my own vegetables, and I found that it's a very relaxing working on your garden, and but the other thing is that when you grow your own vegetables, you know that um, you eating more healthy. You're not using chemicals. You know what you're growing, so and it tastes much better. It has more flavor. I don't know if it's just me, but I found that I mean everything tastes different than the stuff that they sell in the store, and that's what I just make me to happy to grow my own vegetables, and I can share with friends and people. Also, that makes me happy.
I know you gave me a big bag of vegetables with chard and peppers and some tomatoes, and I can't wait to get home and follow your instructions on how to
Yeah, and
how to cook it
and
up.
cooking, it's I don't know. It's I just like to cook. I like to experiment with the food and see what it comes. Sometimes I cook it and I have to throw it away.
It's because
And
it's sort of like an artistic flow that you
it's,
get into this place where you're experimenting and you. So what's in your mind when you're cooking? So are you thinking about the flavors and the tastes and what's going to be coming out of it when you're mixing things together, or how it's being cooked?
yeah, how's gonna taste? So like it's like having all those ingredients and mixing. So you cook it and it has a good flavor. Um, and then you think, what about if I add a little bit of this? Maybe it gets a different flavor. It's gonna taste better.
Right.
Um, and I don't know. I enjoy cooking. I I can spend all day cooking on the kitchen. It's okay. Some weekends I get up and make breakfast. I cook breakfast for my family, and then I take a little break, and then my mind started thinking about, okay, what I'm gonna cook for lunch and then dinner. So I can be all day in the kitchen just cooking, and I'm enjoying it.
That is fabulous. So these are your inspirations: is the taste and the healthy flavor, and just the enjoyment of putting together the different. Like, what are some of your favorite herbs and spices that you really enjoy? Do you have any?
I on my food I always use garlic, onion, and herbs like oregano. Um,
I noticed in your garden at the Chateau Montelena that you had 3 different kinds of thyme. You had mint and you had basil, right?
Basil.
Now, do you have other kinds of herbs and spices here at your home garden?
No, it's only that. I have rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Oregano. I have oregano, rosemary. Um, but I don't have space. I wish I can have more space so I can grow more.
Well, that was leading to my next question. If you could wave a magic wand, just any magic wand over your garden, what would it become? Not thinking about any other considerations, just you had just overnight. What would your garden then become? So larger space?
Probably. Yes.
And what else? Anything else that you have in your mind that you have for your dream garden?
Um, no, no.
Not more exotic vegetables or herbs, anything like that? Are there any other kinds of seeds or other kinds of plants that you would want to bring in from other places that you've heard about?
I wish I can grow some fruit trees. That would be nice. Like if I can grow my. I know that it's impossible because they grow in the tropical part,
What kind of
like
fruit
like
trees then?
like pineapples
Oh,
and fruits that we don't have here.
right,
And like I try to grow like avocados
right.
and what else I try one time mango,
Oh, yeah.
but it's too cold the weather. When winter comes and just
Right.
kill the plants. Uh, but I'll be happy to if I can grow those fruits like papayas and
You like to
okay.
experiment more with your own
Experiment.
fresh
My
grown fruit. Right. So, does the scent of the fruit and vegetables and the spices, does the scent of that play into the taste, into your experimenting, into your enjoyment of the flavors? I mean, how does the scent of the things, how does that?
playing with all those ingredients or fruits or nuts or whatever. Say like on my salad. I need to have my salad every day for my lunch. So I put lettuce and then I start thinking, well, why do I take the lettuce and tomatoes and carrots? But instead of dressing, I need like something. So like something that is more juicy. So I start putting like my fruit with my lettuce and everything. So that way, I have the little bit of sweet and sour. I put orange. I put all kiwis. I put all kind of fruits and vegetables together, and they're good. It's a good salad. You have all, you have the sweet and the sour and and that's good.
Right. So it's like a balance of harmony, a balance of different things that are going on, and just makes you feel good. So, I've heard that you are the kind of guy who goes out in his garden in the morning and you talk to your plants and you touch your plants and you sing to your plants, and then, I've come over and I've seen some of your different vegetables and they're just blossoming with so much fruit. Like they have like thousands, like you have a fig tree here and sometimes you just have thousands of figs on it. So what's your relationship? What draws you out into the garden in the morning? What's your relationship with your plants?
I think they alive, so they are like us. So they need also attention. So you need to talk to the plants. You need to water it and give love. Because they're not gonna grow if you just put it there and leave it there. I mean, they're not gonna grow. They they alive.
Right.
I can go every morning and spend like an hour there before my work and just walking through each row, and I can see from the morning, and then when I go in the afternoon in 8 hours, I can see what it grow, how much it did it grow in 8 hours. Like the cucumbers, you see it like this, and next morning I go and they like big, and they don't produce the same if you just leave it. So you have to go like every day and harvesting the
Mm-hmm.
fruit, and they keep giving more.
Right.
And if you stop taking care of them, they die.
Right.
They don't produce the same.
So you show this love and attention and appreciation for them, and of course, also in your attitude when you're there, do you feel like you're kind of giving thanks to all the produce that they're giving to you because it makes you healthy, it gives you all these tastes and flavors and so much enjoyment? Is that kind of the way that you see that you give thanks for all the abundance?
Yeah.
Are there other ways that you feel that you show thankfulness for the produce, for the taste, for the life, for the vitality that the food brings to you?
And, I don't understand. Well, I go there in the morning because that's a very peaceful place, and I can and I pray there. I give thanks to God and pray for everything that give me. And like in the morning, it's I can see the sunrise and the how to say, the air in the morning. It feels so good,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it.
I love the morning air. I think that's the best. Now, part of with your work as cellar master, you're around the grapevines, you work with the grapes, you work with the land and putting all that pressing together like you were telling me earlier. How does any of that kind of play into your lifestyle here? Like that kind of knowledge that you have about what's happening with, the water, the grapes, all of that information? I mean, it's part of your knowledge and experience with bringing in the harvest and the grapes, watching over that. Does that add anything to to your thoughts with, taste and flavor?
Yeah, because you need you need to recognize the aromas and the flavors of the wine, because you go and taste one grape, but then you see the difference when the on the transformation, and when the wine is finished, you can smell, all the aromas of the wine, and I think that influence on everything, on the garden and cooking and making the wine, so everything goes together.
Right. Now, just to kind of take a little tangent, I know that you are one of these runners. You go and run the mountains, and you're a very fierce marathon competitor. So how does your ability to bring in that vitality and health of the food give you that energy to do your runs and your workouts? Because that's a big part of your life, isn't it?
Running.
Yeah.
That's now it's my passion. Because when you run, after you run, you for me it's like releasing all the stress from work. Maybe because I'm working all day inside, so when I go out, and just go for my run, it just helped me a lot. I feel better. There's a different tire that you get after you run,
Right.
and you feel really great. But you also, I'm also, you're more healthy, and so when you run, you know that you need to eat more healthy, and you need to make changes on your life, um,
Well,
if
that
you wanna be or run good, or be a healthy person, you need to do exercise.
right, because it's the quality of the run, the quality of the healthy feeling in your body that makes it more enjoyable, right? To go run on the mountain and come back tired.
Yes.
It's a good form of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add that hasn't been asked about your life with food? Was there any person in your life that had this kind of natural grace that you have with food and cooking, somebody that inspired you, or people that taught you different things? Was there anything like this, or you're just a natural born cook? You just grew up this way with the people in your family.
No, I think this came from my dad. I think because since I remember when I was a kid, he always liked to cook. He always been cooking. He just loved to cook too. I think because he yeah, I think he likes to cook,
Yeah,
and that's where I think that's where it came from,
yeah.
because yeah, we learn from him.
So he was nurturing that way, nurturing you with food. Do you know, I have always thought that, at least, that being invited to come into someone's home and have them cook a meal for you is probably one of the most divinest honors, you know, that a person can give. And there's been different places in different cultures around the world and different places in history where that's been kind of an understood gift that people have. And I know from the people that are here listening that we all appreciate people like you who are just fabulous cooks, and you have this inspiring, very authentic quality to what you do and your enjoyment of it, and how you share that abundance with the people around you. Thank you so much, Gilberto.